Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of 5 Facts. I'm Tony Southcott and today we're here to talk about Gone Girl. This is a 2014 movie from David Fincher and I think this one's going to go down as a classic. Just a warning, if you haven't seen it, there are major spoilers ahead, especially in the discussion after the video, so go ahead and watch the movie or just power through and ruin it for yourself. Why would you do that? I don't know. It's your life. Anyway, on to the facts. Fact number 1, Rosamund Pike went through the ringer for this movie. In a scene where Nick pushes Amy against the wall, it was so physically intense that Rosamund Pike almost got a concussion. She told Vanity Fair, "I think around take 18 of getting my head bashed against the wall, I literally saw stars." She also had to go through a lot of weight gain and loss for this movie. 3 times she had to lose then gain 13 pounds of weight just so that she could play different times in Amy's life. Whenever she was on the far side of it, she would stuff herself with hamburgers and malts to gain those 13 pounds, and then trying to lose it, she would get with a personal trainer, box for 4 hours a day, and run 5 miles. So, on top of an already long 10-hour filming schedule, she was having to do all of this. It was intense. Affleck also changed his weight a bunch for this movie, but that's because during the middle of filming, he got cast for Batman and had to start bulking up. So, over the course of this movie, you'll see her rubber band a bit, and you'll see him just getting more swole as it goes on. Fact number 2, the sex scene between Desi and Amy took 2 days to film. This is an interesting one because, Neil Patrick Harris is gay, so it's already a little bit different for him, I'm sure. But this was a very complicated sex scene. It's the scene in which she ends up murdering him. So they have this very clinical, interesting sex scene that turns into an absolute mess. And it was very complicated to get the shoot right. Rosamund Pike claimed that David Fincher wanted them to spend multiple hours just simply together choreographing the sex scene before they even had a chance to film it. They used Dora the Explorer dolls to show where the positions would be and what was going to happen. With how bloody it would end up getting, it took 36 changes of wardrobe and linens to actually finish the scene. They did that many takes where they had to just keep on dousing each other in blood. Lynch said, "It was a particularly complex scene to shoot, not so much for the activity, but for the cleanup. I can imagine that over and over again they had to deal with this bloody mess, and it must have just been kind of weird shooting. It's like everybody's in their underwear. It's just an awkward situation where you're having to douse off 36 times. So, I'm glad that they were able to do it and do it so well, but that is a lot of awkward shooting." This kind of goes back to what we were talking about the last shoot, but for fact number 3, David Fincher is extremely thorough in his shooting. Fincher is the type of director that will do 100 takes if that's what it takes to actually get it done. And often he did. This wasn't a movie where he decided, 10 takes, 20 takes, 30 takes is enough. There were literally times where he exceeded 100 takes per shot. For this film alone, he shot more than 500 hours of footage. More than 5 hours a day for 101 days of the actual shoot. That's a lot of film to go through. I feel really bad for the editors who had to just sift and sift and sift and sift to get the perfect angle. David Lynch also talked about how hard it is for some of his actors if they end up getting into the wrong scene. Over the course of the shoots, when Margot is eating fries, she has to keep doing that for every single take. And David Lynch thinks that it took about 5 pounds of fries for her to actually get these scenes complete. Fact number 4, a baseball cap slowed this shoot down for 4 whole days. Ben Affleck is a die-hard Red Sox fan, and one of the scenes where he's trying to hide in the airport required him to put on a New York Yankees hat. Instead of doing this and going along with Fincher's vision, he decided that he was going to protest. He said, "David, I love you, I would do anything for you, but I will not wear a Yankees hat." So after a few days of negotiation, they were able to settle on a Mets hat, which is kind of the in-between. Part of me feels like this is a really diva thing to do, but I know that it would be hard for me to ever don Raiders gear. So as a Broncos fan, I empathize, and I'm glad that you're sticking to your team. Fact number 5, popcorn facts. Whenever there isn't a big meaty one to dig into, we do a lot of little facts, so here we go. If you call the number listed on the billboard in the trailer, you get to hear the first part of the book read to you. It still works. I tried it earlier. Try 1-855-426-9847. The author, Flynn, was originally going to call this Psycho Bitch, but she changed her mind. They even make an allusion to that in the book. And the last fact we have is that when Fincher is looking for an actor, he usually goes to IMDb pages and Google and starts looking at tons of pictures and see who's going to fit. Well, he ran into Ben Affleck and saw that almost all of his photos had the same exact kind of cheesy smile, and he figured that would make him more qualified to do the Nick Dunn thing. because that's actually a key plot point for this movie. It causes him a lot of trouble because of that smile. So he decided that he was going to go ahead and get Ben Affleck for this film. Gone Girl is a movie about really, really messed up people doing horrible things to each other and somehow making it work out in the end in one of the most pretend abusive relationships that's ever been. And I still couldn't believe that he went back to her. I still couldn't believe that she manipulated that out of him. And I just wonder what would have been so different if she'd have gone through with her plan and all of a sudden did kill herself at the end. Because that was her plan. And instead she decides that she's going to throw that one last thing in there and make it so that his life is hell for a long time. But then all of a sudden they're kind of back together, putting the effort back into the relationship. It's weird, it's messed up, it's definitely a Flynn novel. Like, I just finished watching Sharp Objects on HBO, and you can tell that she doesn't like characters that aren't completely broken or complete jerks. And this is definitely no exception. This was an excellent film, though. It was well crafted, well adapted. She actually did the screenplay for this movie. Fincher is one of my all-time favorite directors, and you guys need to see it. Did you like this movie? Did you see where it was going? Was it spoiled to you before you got there? Please put that in the comments below. Also, if you enjoy this, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, or go to patreon.com/humanechoes. For $2, $5, $10 a month, you can get a bunch of awesome stuff, and we will see you guys soon with more 5 Facts.